Hello, I'm David Burris with Calerin Forge, and we had an order for some Fireplace tools, so we thought it would be a nice idea to go ahead and make some videos about how to make each one of these tools. So to start out with, we're going to make a poker. We're going to start out with a piece of 1/2-inch square stock, about 32 inches long, and we're hopefully going to end up with a poker about 30 inches long when we're done. First thing we're going to do is draw this out to a point, and then we're going to fold it and do a forge weld, and then we'll work on the handle end of it next. And anytime you want to smooth the hammer marks out of something you've really been working hard, as it starts cooling off and gets into the red heat range, just a lot of light hammer blows will smooth a lot of the hammer marks out of it. That's a process called planishing. And then we're going to cut it part way through and fold it over on itself and make a forge weld to make the actual point of the poker. Heat it up to a nice orange heat. I'm going to remove it from the fire and put some welding flux on it. And what I'm using for welding flux is just a common laundry product. It's borax. And what the purpose of the flux is to keep the oxygen out of your weld. Now this particular handle I'm going to do on this one, I want to draw this out really long and thin, but I want to end up with a ball on the end of it. Heat it up and tweak on it a little bit, but we're getting there. There we have a much rounder opening at the top. I'm going to clamp this down just where the heat's starting to run out. We have a fire poker. I've done a little prep work on the end that's going to receive this shovel blank. I've split it 3 ways, and we're going to forge that out to receive some rivets. Alright, now I'm going to spread these out and draw them out a little bit, and we're going to form our blank, which I've already got pre-cut here, we're going to take a hot set and score these edges so we can heat them up and fold them in the vise, form the shovel blank, and then the one piece will go underneath and rivet, and the two pieces will spread out to the sides and rivet to hold the thing really securely. Got so far there. We'll spread this one out and do the same thing. There we have that pretty well prepared. Like I say, I may take a file and round these out a little bit just to improve the shape on them, but that's basically, it's wide enough to receive a hole in a rivet. So that's all we need. See, we've got a nice precise bend on that. You've got a thin edge there, so no ash should get underneath that. There's our shovel blade. Now be time to put some holes in it. Alright, so there's our shovel blade, and now we gotta adjust this all to fit together here. So that's how it's all going to fit together. You never properly dress without a piece of soapstone in your pocket, or a pocket knife. There's all our rivets in place. Now we're going to heat this up and give it a slight twist just so it's a little more natural to use to brush the ashes into, and this will be a finished shovel. There you have a shovel that you can scoop the ashes with or sweep them into. And I hope the next time you look at the shovels offered in your local international conglomerate department store, you'll look at them with a little different eye. So there is a better option out there. So, hope that inspires you to make one of your own, and happy smithing. We're going to complete the set of fire tongs here. My apprentice Caleb has done the handles and widened the spaces out where the rivet's going to go through and done the twists in them. So what we're going to do is form these are what we call fork and spoon fireplace tongs. One side will be a flattened half round shape, and the other side will be split and made into a fork. So we'll get started. We're going to flatten about the last 4 inches or so of this, and since this has been flattened to where our tongs are going to overlap, so we want to make sure we flatten 90 degrees away from that. Start to spread out a little bit. We want to go just a little bit wider than that though, just for visual effect. It needs to be a little more dramatic. We don't want to go too thin with it because it is going to be gripping the log in the fire. Nice and straight. There's our paddle. Now we'll cup this partially round, and then we'll offset it back here. So there's the spoon side of our fork and spoon tongs that we make. So this piece cross over that way, so we're going to flatten it out not quite as wide as that so we can slit it and then draw out the tines of the fork. Gain another heat, and then we're going to slit this with a hot set and bend the tines down one at a time and draw them into a point. See the initial groove we started there. There, it's mostly cut through. We're going to come through from the other side just to clean it up a little. Now we're going to bend these down one at a time and draw them out to a point. I'm going to heat them up and bend them out and see how we are on our length, because we want them both to be the same length. We're pretty close. I'm going to go ahead and heat it up and spread them apart and work on this the juncture here. We want that to be nice and smoothly rounded. I want to cool those little tips before I put it back in the fire, because the smaller the piece has gotten when you put it in the fire, the faster it'll burn up. Heat it back up and continue to work till we get that all smoothed out in there. Alright, so the next heat we're going to start to bend it around the horn to form the fork. Got these marked in the center, so I'm going to go ahead and center punch them for the hole for the rivet. We're going to drill these holes instead of punching them, because we want a rivet to fit exactly in that hole. So Caleb, if you would drill those for me. But we're going to rivet these two pieces together, and then we'll have to heat them and tweak them a little to where they do what we need them to do as far as tongs go. There we have the joint made, but we're going to have to heat these now and bend them to where they actually meet, and we'll bend these in a little bit as well. So go back to the fire with them. There we are. Just cool that off and we'll be ready to put a finish on. And they work. This is the handle for the broom that we're going to make, and what we're going to do is heat this up and hot punch a hole through it and insert a piece of 1/4 inch rod, and then that'll go off to my broom maker, and he will be able to tie a hand-tied broom on that. And along with that, there's our hole. And there's our broom handle. Here we are, we've finished the fireplace set. This is the stand we built. We continued the same motif as we were using on the tools with the twist and the little ball on the end here. It's pretty standard. We've got a simple tray here to catch the ashes if you're setting the tools back in there. And the tools will simply just rest inside these arms here. There's our shovel. Our tongs. Here's our poker. And if you remember, we made the handle for the broom, but we had to send it away to a friend of mine who's a master broom maker, Marlowe Gates at Friendship Brooms in Asheville. And you can see he just does a really beautiful and useful job on his brooms. So anyway, there's our completed set ready for delivery.